Next question. I don't multitask real well, y'all can probably tell that, so. All right, question number 2. Do you see a benefit in imposing term limits on Congress and the Supreme Court justices? Would you support a convention of states to amend the Constitution for this or any other reason, why or why not? And as we said before, we're doing this on a rotating basis, and I believe candidate number 2 is Mr. Romero.
Thank you. Yes, I firmly believe we need to impose on Congress term limits. They're not going to do it themselves. So there's 2 ways of doing it. One is through the House, the Senate, and the President, send it back to the states for ratification. That's never going to happen because they're never going to cut themselves out of a job. We've done it to the President. Back in the 40s and 50s, President was being elected for the 5th time. He died in office. They decided to pass a constitutional amendment that would limit them to 2 terms. So we need to do the same thing with our House and our Senate. In my opinion, the max should be 12 years and then go do something else. So the other route of correcting our Constitution or fixing it or adding to it would be through the states. We are, I believe, 2 or 3 states shy of calling for a constitutional convention of the states. And I believe it's only designed and targeted in one, to control our spending. Yes, we need to control our spending, but the magic bullet is limit them to 12 years. Then you cut them from being kings. Who ever heard of an individual serving as our senator or representative for 30, 40 years? On both sides. We need to stop that. And by doing that, that's the way to do it, the simplest. And it's allowed by our Constitution in the correct manner. We can't wait for the justices to do it, because I don't think they do it themselves, because they favor it. And that'll be it.
Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. McFall.
I differ a little on this. I believe career politicians are what's messing up our government. The top 6 Democrats and top 6 Republicans have over 300 years in Congress. That's not what our founding fathers intended. Ben Franklin thought that a constitutional republic was the most perfect form of government for our people. But he also said that even though it was the most perfect form of government, it would be hard to keep. He said this because he knew human nature, and that would be the reason why it was hard to keep. Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence. There's a clause that says, accordingly, all mankind has shown, or all experience has shown that mankind is more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they're accustomed. 240 years ago, humans were doing the same thing over and over and over and over. I don't agree with term limits. Instead, we should be asking, should we have a convention of states or an amendment for any other reason? I think we should be asking, are we, the people, not capable of self-government? Do we have to make a rule because we refuse to get out and vote these people out of office? It's just like Mike was saying, the only way we can do that is amend the Constitution, and the House and the Senate have to vote on it, and it goes to the state, or we have to have a convention of states, which has never been done. That's not likely to get done. We can go out, there's 535 members of Congress or 535 members of Congress. In every single election, we can vote out 468 of them. So let's get out and vote them. Ben Ray Lujan is a perfect example of that. He was dealing cards at a casino in Reno, and his mom and dad brought him home and said he was going to run for Congress, and because his name's Lujan, he won. And because his name's Lujan, he keeps winning. So let's not give away another piece of our freedom. Let's simply get out in the next election and vote these people out of office, and that ends their term now. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Lucero.
So, yes, I completely believe we need to set term limits. And the reason why is, I'm standing here right now and I'm telling you, they're really comfortable where they're at. They're really comfortable having people put money in their pockets and help them make decisions. The longer they're there, the more that happens. That's just the honest truth. We all know it. And we're allowing it to happen. So you bet, I think there needs to be term limits. Because when a person gets so comfortable where he's at, he forgets where he came from, something's wrong. And that's exactly what's happening right now. I'm telling you, when they think that they can't be beat, that's when we know they've made a mistake, okay? Ben Ray Lujan is sitting in office right now, and I'm telling you, he doesn't believe that we can beat him. He doesn't believe that one of these three gentlemen standing right here can beat him. And that needs to change. When you're a politician, when you get elected and you go into office, you need to remember where you came from. You need to make sure that those people come first and foremost. You're not going to Washington to make friends. Let's keep it that way.